Everyone feels stressed from time to time, and most of us have our ways of unwinding. Celebrities are no different. They find their own escapes from the pressures of fame. Some might take up hobbies like painting or dancing, while others relax with a drink in hand. But for some, that drink becomes more than just a way to relax, and becomes something instead more worrisome. Don't believe it? Let's dive into the top 10 worst alcoholics in Hollywood, then and now. Starting with a bang, let's dive into the whirlwind that is Bradley Cooper's past. Before the Oscar nominations, the directorial debut, that smoldering smile lighting up every red carpet, and definitely before Bradley was serenading Lady Gaga in A Star Is Born. The silver screen's darling, known for his piercing blue eyes and stellar acting chops, wasn't always riding high on the fame wave, and off-screen was battling his own off-screen demons, and honey, it wasn't pretty. See, in his late 20s, the actor found solace in alcohol and drugs, using them as crutches after a career setback and a personal injury. Sadly, over time, the initial allure of fame had spiraled into a dependency that almost derailed his future. He even said in an interview that he definitely had a nihilistic attitude towards life. Luckily, unlike many others, Cooper's story did not end in darkness, as a pivotal intervention from his friend Will Arnett in 2004 became his turning point. Cooper's journey through rehab and recovery was grueling but transformative, and thankfully by 2006, he had embraced sobriety, a choice that has defined his trajectory ever since. In fact, his personal struggle even influenced his award-winning role in A Star Is Born, where he channeled his own experiences into a raw and compelling performance. Today, Cooper stands as a beacon of resilience. His past battles are a reminder of the fragile line between fame and self-destruction, and no one knows this line as well as our next celebrity. Before Iron Man's iconic suit, the Marvel Universe's renaissance, and that charm that could make even the most skeptical viewer smile, Robert Downey Jr. was wrestling with a far less glamorous nemesis, his own addiction. Once a prodigy of Hollywood with a trailblazing career, Downey's life took a terrible turn in the late 1990s. See, as the accolades piled up, so did his struggles with substance abuse, turning his Hollywood ascent into a turbulent roller coaster. Downey, known for his undeniable talent and charisma, was also battling alcohol and drugs. It got so bad that his addiction became a public spectacle, faced by multiple arrests and rehab stints. The man who once dazzled in roles like Chaplin was now caught in a web of dependency, with his career nearly collapsing under the weight of his addiction. By 2001, Downey's life seemed to be unraveling, his career faltering, and his personal life in disarray. But then came a turning point as a dramatic intervention and unwavering support from his wife Susan, along with a rigorous recovery journey, slowly but surely began to restore his life. Today, Downey's story is one of triumph as much like his Marvel character. He rose from the ashes of his troubled past to become one of Hollywood's most beloved figures. When it comes to Hollywood, Brad Pitt is a star whose charm and talent have captivated millions for years. From his breakthrough in Thelma and Louise to the iconic roles in Fight Club and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Pitt seemed to have it all. Yet, behind the silver screen, a darker story unfolded. In the heart of his stardom, Pitt's private life was filled with an unseen enemy, alcohol. See, the allure of fame and the relentless pressure pushed him into a vortex of substance abuse. At the time, his high-profile marriage to Jennifer Aniston ended in 2005, and people feared the worst. It was his whirlwind romance and marriage to Angelina Jolie that would bring his struggles to the forefront. By 2016, cracks in his marriage had become glaringly apparent, with alcohol as a silent destructive force. Sadly, Jolie's divorce filing that year hinted at deeper issues, and it wasn't long before Pitt himself admitted his battle with alcoholism. The actor revealed in a candid 2017 interview that he had been drinking excessively since his college days, admitting, "I can't remember a day without booze or something." Luckily, the turning point came when Pitt sought solace and support through Alcoholics Anonymous. However, his journey wasn't easy, but it was marked by a transformative struggle. Today, Pitt credits friends like Bradley Cooper for helping him regain his footing, and his story serves as a testament to resilience and recovery. Pitt was not the first celeb to have a serious drinking problem, and the next one quite literally enjoyed his problem. Frank Sinatra, Old Blue Eyes, the crooner whose voice still resonates through the annals of music history, was not just a legend for his songs and cinematic achievements. No, his offstage antics, particularly his deep, enduring love affair with Jack Daniel's whiskey, were a much more interesting story. A man who, in his prime, could charm audiences with classics like My Way and New York, New York, Frank was also known to toss back a bottle of Jack Daniel's like it was morning coffee. In fact, Sinatra's daily ritual wasn't just about sipping, it was about reveling in his liquid gold. The man practically lived in the company of whiskey, often quipping about his consumption to doctors and friends alike with a devil-may-care attitude. His devotion to Jack Daniel's wasn't just a personal quirk, but a public spectacle. In fact, from the Rat Pack's wild Vegas nights to his private Palm Springs retreats, Sinatra's whiskey flag flew high and proud. Sadly, his excesses weren't merely part of his charm, they were a destructive force driving him to explosive outbursts and near-disastrous performances. Sadly, his excess would lead to the tragic end of the star. Despite his unmatched talent and charisma, the dark whiskey-soaked nights took their toll. But in perhaps the most baller move ever, when he passed away in 1998, Sinatra was laid to rest with a bottle of Jack Daniel's, a final bittersweet nod to the drink that had been as much of a part of his life as his music. Hollywood's favorite comeback kid, Ben Affleck, also has had a roller coaster of a journey with alcohol that's nothing short of dramatic. It all began with young Ben riding high on his Good Will Hunting success in the late 90s, only to find himself tangled in the messy web of alcoholism. It was basically like a scene straight out of a thriller, and Affleck stumbling through the fog of fame and addiction. Fast forward to 2001 after a whirlwind romance with Gwyneth Paltrow and a turbulent fling with J-Lo. Ben checked into rehab, a move nudged by none other than Charlie Sheen. But it wasn't a one-time fix, because fast forwarding to 2017, and our guy was seen juggling sobriety while supporting his brother at the Oscars, with a sober buddy in tow. Yet the drama didn't end there, because in 2018, a tearful Jennifer Garner took him back to rehab, her emotions screaming louder than any tabloid headline. Ben is still on his way to recovery despite the occasional slip-ups, like at Halloween Bash in 2019 where the cameras caught him stumbling. Ben hasn't derailed his comeback, rather, he has faced it head-on and his journey continues, proving that recovery, much like Hollywood, is full of plot twists. Billy Joel, the legendary piano man, has struck a triumphant chord in his personal life by revealing he's been sober for a dazzling 2 years. And just like his chart-topping hits, his battle with alcohol has been nothing short of a roller coaster. Once known for his boozy binges that could rival any rock star's wildest nights, Joel's drinking habits were as notorious as his music. The Uptown Girls singer's relationship with alcohol was a turbulent affair, often making headlines and leading him to the Betty Ford Clinic in 2005. In a candid interview, he described his drinking as a desperate attempt to wind down from that high-octane rush of his performances, a habit that left him more passed out than peacefully asleep. Behold the drama, because Joel's recent revelation is more than just a comeback story. It's a testament to transformation. See, he admitted to the LA Times saying, "I stopped a couple of years ago. It wasn't a big AA kick. I just got to the point where I've had enough." Basically, the rock star got up and cleaned up his act. Talk about a rock and roll redemption arc. As Billy gears up for a new musical chapter, joining forces with Stevie Nicks, everyone seems happy, and it's clear his greatest hit might just be his sober life. Now let's dive into someone you probably didn't see coming. Leonard Nimoy, the iconic Spock from Star Trek, whose off-screen life was as turbulent as a Klingon's temper. We all remember Nimoy, the man who famously raised one eyebrow and delivered logical wisdom. However, behind his on-screen persona was a hidden struggle with alcohol that threatened to overshadow his stellar career. You see, while Spock was coolly navigating space, Nimoy was battling an addiction to the bottle. And sadly, his on-set charm masked a darker reality, as he used alcohol as a crutch to cope with the grueling demands of his role. It wasn't just a casual drink either. Nimoy's alcohol use became a full-blown habit. Even William Shatner, his co-star, noted that Nimoy often leaned on alcohol to shield himself from the pressures of fame. But here's the twist. Despite seeking treatment and trying to turn his life around, Nimoy's struggle didn't end with his Starship Enterprise days. Instead, he succumbed to another vice, smoking. It was a tragic finale for a man who had captivated millions with his logical demeanor, but faced a battle that was anything but logical. Lindsay Lohan, the child star who dazzled us in Parent Trap and Mean Girls, had a meteoric rise that was as dazzling as it was tragic. You see, her charm and talent had Hollywood at her feet, but lurking beneath the surface was a darker story. By the mid-2000s, Lohan's life took a nosedive. Her party girl persona wasn't just for show, as it was a harbinger of the chaos to come. Soon enough, the once bubbly actress became a tabloid regular, but not for her acting chops, no. It was for her exploits with drugs and alcohol that now made the front page news. Her downward spiral wasn't just a hiccup, it was a full-blown freefall. Lohan's battle with alcoholism wasn't just personal, it was a public spectacle. From DOI arrests to rehab stints, her struggles played out like a soap opera, full of drama and heartbreak. She faced the kind of scrutiny that would make anyone's head spin, all while her once promising career slipped through her fingers. But here's the twist. Amidst the chaos, Lohan's journey toward recovery shows her resilience. Despite the setbacks, she has fought hard to reclaim her life and her career, and today, her story is a gripping reminder of the pitfalls of fame and the tough road to redemption. Anyone who grew up on Disney remembers young Demi, all dimples and dreams, wowing us with her vocal chops on Camp Rock. However, behind the scenes, a storm was brewing. Following her success, it wasn't long before Demi found herself spiraling into the dark world of addiction, fueled by a toxic cocktail of fame, pressure, and access to substances that would make your head spin. The whispers in Hollywood weren't just about her talent, but also her late-night escapades and the wild parties that ended in absolute chaos. It got so bad that when she sought help, she was literally throwing up blood. But here's the plot twist. Even then, some of her handlers said she was not sick enough. Can you believe that? It was a twisted game of control that pushed her deeper into the abyss, leading to a near-fatal overdose. But don't get it twisted. Demi's story isn't just one of descent, it's one of resilience. And recently, she's clawed her way back to the top, shedding her demons and telling the world, I'm in control now. So cheers to that, Demi. But this time, let's just stick to the sparkling water. Daniel Radcliffe has had quite a journey with alcohol. Yes, the boy who lived had some demons to battle off screen, and trust me, this story has all the twists and turns you never saw coming. Daniel, fresh-faced and forever etched in our minds as the bespectacled wizard Harry Potter, was riding high on a wave of global fame, but underneath that charming smile was a struggle no one could see coming. It started small, a drink here and there, the kind of harmless fun any young adult might have, but soon, that glass of liquid courage became a way to escape the crushing pressure of the limelight. When he wasn't conjuring spells on set, Daniel was battling a different kind of monster. It wasn't until the final Harry Potter film wrapped up that the cracks began to show. In fact, there were whispers of hangovers on set and even scenes where he was just out of it. And darling, these weren't just any scenes. They were key moments in a billion-dollar franchise. Talk about high stakes. Daniel's drinking was a secret well kept. No paparazzi shots of wild nights or messy clubs exist. He was just what they would call a functional alcoholic, managing to keep his performances top-notch while spiraling into his own private abyss. It wasn't until after a few near misses and some sobering realizations that he decided enough was enough. He stepped out of the shadow of his addiction, choosing sobriety over spirals. Daniel Radcliffe may have waved a wand on screen, but off-screen, it was his strength and courage that truly worked the magic. So there you have it, our countdown of the top 10 worst alcoholics in Hollywood, then and now. These stories remind us that behind the glitz and glamour, some stars have faced their darkest battles with addiction. From headline-grabbing benders to quiet struggles behind closed doors, their journeys show that fame and fortune don't always come with a happy ending. But what do you think? Which celebrity stories shocked you the most? And did we miss any other iconic figures with jaw-dropping tales? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and let us know which scandalous story you would like us to cover next. And if this list got you hooked, make sure to check out our other video of the top 10 celebrity scandals that Hollywood tried to hide. You won't believe the secrets that some of these stars have been keeping. Until next time, stay curious and remember, the truth in Hollywood is often stranger than fiction.